And this pressure of like I need to survive with violin didn't help me in my playing. It made me like self-conscious, like I need to do it because I need to live out of it.
How are
Hi,
you?
I'm fine.
It's
I'm fine
lovely. It's lovely to meet you over Zoom.
as
Yeah.
well. As well.
And yes, I photographed your brother in his window for my project, and that's how I know of you. Um,
Yeah.
but where are you based at the moment?
Right now I'm in Romania
Oh,
since
okay. Mm,
2 years now.
yeah,
But I've been in Austria. I studied there violin for 2 years in Innsbruck.
yeah.
Yeah, with Christos Kanetis. He was my teacher. He's a
Mm,
Greek teacher of
mm,
violin, and yeah, there in the Alps there,
yeah.
I started to. I mean, I've seen the beauty of the mountains. Uh, there, I started also to go snowboarding, and yeah, you could go like all the time on the mountains. Actually, in the city, there is a railway that goes up there,
Yeah.
and that's how I started to notice the visual aspects of,
Mm.
and that's how I started to take photos, and then I started to get passionate about this visual kind of
Mm.
to see the world through the camera. That's, so there it
That's
started.
Yeah, and but what was, but you always played the violin. I mean, if you
Yes,
studied the
yes.
violin, so you studied the violin since what age?
Like my brother since seventh grade,
Yeah.
seventh
Mm,
year, yeah. 7 years old, yeah. I
mm,
think so.
mm.
Maybe even earlier.
Yeah,
I started like, uh, I have two brothers. I have one Neil and
yeah,
the one Nikon,
yeah, yeah.
and they play piano.
Mm,
But I've also started with piano.
yeah.
Like we started all together, almost together, like few
Mm,
months difference. And I don't know how it came, but my mother, I think she said, okay, but it's kind of not boring, but the same thing to do
yeah.
everybody piano, okay? So I think she asked me like, do you want to do something else? And she came, of course, with the idea of violin. And that's how I played the piano. I started with piano like 2 months
Mm,
and then went to violin.
yeah.
Um,
And then when you were in Innsbruck and you started doing photography, um, you were still studying the violin then.
yes, yes.
Yeah. And what made you then decide? Did you, or I should rather ask, did you then stop playing the violin, or did you
No,
just, yeah,
I,
you still play?
yes, and I am actually here in the conservatory.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
and I'm in the second year now here
mm,
in Romania. I started again. I
mm,
couldn't accumulate the years from Israel,
okay,
and I mean I didn't want to start the conservatory here necessarily, but I felt at the moment that I shouldn't stay like on a break 1 year. So
yeah,
that's why I started again the conservatory to have a
okay,
teacher to be. But I've never been, I don't know, fulfilled, let's say.
mm,
And I remember I was always stuck in the idea of photography since Innsbruck, and
mm,
it grew on me. It grew on me. And right now, that's why we rescheduled so many times because I actually applied for the films university
mm,
now, which maybe I think tomorrow or so,
Mm.
I will find out if I got in or not.
Oh, okay. You have to let me know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
So yeah, it was a little bit. They
mm,
rescheduled the exams.
yeah.
We had like three. How do you say?
It's like entry exams that you do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And but will you still now keep studying the violin, even though you're going to study at the film school?
I froze my ear
Yeah.
now in the conservatory, so I can see if I get in how it's gonna be
Oh, okay. Yeah.
in the
Mm,
yeah in the film university. And I mean I'm not stopping violin. I'm teaching as well
mm,
kids. Uh, I like it
yeah.
to teach kids. It's something new that I've been doing since the
Mm,
pandemic, and I I'm not stopping. I like violin. It's just that I don't know. I got this passion, and I felt like for photography and film, uh, and I don't want to miss it. So I
yeah.
want to try.
And
That's
yeah, do you think that it also during the time of lockdown that this um, idea of you want to take it further, that you want to go and really study it, did that bring it about?
yes. I mean the pandemic helped quite a bit in
Really?
my decision.
Mm,
Yes, because of course, as you know, music was and art actually
mm,
uh, take a hit. Took a hit
yeah.
during this pandemic, and I was able to think about it. I also talked with my teacher, and he told me to try film, and
Mm.
see what's about. And uh, yeah,
And
that's it.
it's yeah, and it's also another form of art, filming, and it's also something that you can actually combine. And you have the background, and you have all the skills to persevere and to work on
And
something and know what it takes. So um, that would actually be to your benefit if you do that now.
exactly, and I always,
Yeah.
despite of my brothers that are like fully committed to music,
Mm.
I've always been not an outsider, but I've always searched others areas.
Yeah.
Uh, I am like that. I like to try new things. I like to explore. But I mean, in the end, I would like to bind music with a film.
Mm.
That's my. I will. I mean, I'm not forgetting about.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to do something to. Uh, it also came to me that I can help my brothers, maybe visually, uh,
Mm.
as a musician, as a publicity,
Yeah.
So,
And I think it's very important that you talk about this as well, or that it's possible to talk about this, because I think there's sometimes a pressure also on artists to think that they have to do one type of art. You study music now, you have to now just to be a violinist, and you have to just do concerts. But it's also possible that you can study it and not go the conventional route and do what everybody else is doing. So um, and I wonder also how many musicians or how many artists are there who feel like you're not completely fulfilled in what they're doing, and really not knowing if it's possible to do another uh, type of
exactly.
art.
Yeah, for me, I mean, when I was doing just violin and I was thinking this is what I do, the only thing I do, uh, it came to me that it was this kind of pressure that we're talking about, and it didn't help me. to feel like okay, it's survival. Like if you know to do just this thing, you need to get money from this, which doesn't always happen with music. And this pressure of like I need to survive with violin didn't help me in my playing. It made me like self-conscious, like I need to do it because I need to live out of it,
Mm.
and it didn't help. Like I would, I always felt like that. Like you need to have this kind of not we I don't want to say as a hobby, but you make a hobby, you have
Mm.
a hobby, so because it makes you pleasure to do it, right? You don't have any kind of you don't get anything from it.
Mm.
Like uh, it's just that you like to do it,
Mm.
and that's also with violin. I like to play violin, but I don't think like now like on 23rd this month I will have a concert with
Mm.
the with a band, and it's the first time I try to play with a band.
Yeah.
This kind of a blues thing. I will see how it is. I like to try new things, you know.
Mm.
And
Well,
yeah,
yeah. There's a group that I spoken to, Floris and the Flames, and they do this sort of thing, combining, or I don't know what you call it in music,
this is called like
crossover, or what do you call it? But
in
they,
music is I think it's called a fusion of
oh
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah. But
we yeah,
I've been to their concert and it's so wonderful. It's, they take Bach and they just do something different, totally different with it. And I think, yeah, it's great that you feel you have the freedom to do something like that. And I think it's very creative, and I think it's something when you can do it. It's the same with filming and photography, and I think any type of art. The moment
yeah,
you have that, you feel you have that freedom to express yourself how you feel as comfortable as possible. Um,
yeah.
then it's the real artist, I think, that comes out. Then it's not that
Exactly. So
trained
on
artist.
the
Yeah,
unique part. Yeah,
yeah. Then I think it's that personality that comes through.
yeah. Maybe my
Yeah,
brothers say the same thing.
really.
They are like happy that I'm breaking the rules.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think so too. I like it when artists do that, So
Yeah.
I think some people have to have that. Um,
For some people, it's great.
for some
Yeah.
people, it's they have that passion to do it that way, and I think then there is also a place for artists who don't.
Yeah.
But now tell me about your photography and your filming. What are you doing both at the moment, or are you focusing on
Uh,
filming?
I'm focusing on films,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Uh, I have a friend of mine, Horia Constantinescu. We are friends since I don't know uh, school,
Yeah.
even before that, from the first grade. Yeah, and he studied in UK in London.
Mm.
In I don't know the name of the university. It was a jazz university.
Mm.
He plays piano, but now he's composing music,
Mm.
and I am making the visual of the.
Oh, okay. Mm.
His I don't know how you call it, pseudonym or something. His name is Carl Penguin now, like on YouTube if you search
Oh,
Carl
yeah.
Penguin, and the videos are made by me.
Oh, okay.
And we are
So,
currently
mm.
having a project that's
Mm.
it's called how was it called? We like it. It's a project that we are doing since 1 year. We are so slow with it, but I think it
Oh,
will.
okay.
And
Yeah.
because I've tried doing a miniature, a
Yeah.
miniature city,
Mm.
and yeah, you get little difficulties, and it takes time
Mm.
if you are doing it alone.
Mm. Yeah. Well, I
And
think it's good to start doing it, to start
yeah,
filming and to see. And I think this is also a process of learning. I've spoken to an actor actually who said that he didn't have any training in acting, but he learned by acting, by
Yeah,
going to
by
act,
doing it.
by doing it, and then doing workshops, and then finding where his weaknesses are, and then doing it that way. And
Yeah,
I think this is also very courageous when you do that, when you just take the camera and you're willing to fail, or you're willing to make mistakes
exactly.
yourself and learn from that. Uh, it might take a bit longer than if you had the training of it, but it is also a way of learning to do it that way.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think is the maybe the best way because at
yeah,
the end,
mm,
it's your it's you learn it,
yeah,
practically.
yeah, yeah.
Like that's a thing that uh, came to me when I decided to go to the University of Film
Mm,
because there they say uh, so I've heard so many times
mm,
from students that okay, but you learn theory there, but you don't do practical. That practical you do it anyway by yourself,
mm,
you know.
mm.
And there's where you learn.
Yeah, by the practical. So, what is the type of thing that you would like to do? What type of films do you want to start
I'm
focusing on?
I'm I'm becoming more and more attracted to documentary, documentary,
Okay.
yeah,
Mm,
because as I told you about my brothers, I would
yeah.
like to make about the life of artists.
Mm,
You are doing some kind of this lockdown project
yeah.
was a little bit like that.
Yeah.
So to see the truth behind the artist,
Mm,
because I mean I grew up with seeing like movies like Amadeus and you
mm,
know, and I don't think they portray very real,
yeah.
very truthfully
Mm,
the life of, and that's maybe because the people who are making the movie don't are not actually artists or
mm.
they weren't before,
Oh,
and
it's also that commercial thing that it has to sell.
yeah, exactly,
It has to have something to get people to go to the theater to see it. That
yeah,
I know
that
exactly what you mean, but it's also um,
is not real. It's
yeah,
not real.
you also want it real. Mm,
I mean, I felt that when I was watching it and I knew I was
yeah,
playing,
mm,
but it's not like that.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that's one thing. And doing document, I play also in. I'm a member of gamelan ensemble. If you know, these are instruments from Bali.
Mm,
You know, from Java, Bali. Uh, they have these instruments. Gamelan. They are called. Our group is called Jepun Bali,
mm.
which means I think Jepun, it's the name of this flower, but
Oh,
the
okay.
bali,
Yeah, yeah. Mm,
the big flower,
mm.
yeah, uh, that you see like on spa things, studios.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
classic thing when you think of Bali.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's our band is called like that.
Mm,
It's an orchestra actually. That's how
mm,
they call gamelan. And it's really interesting the way you play. I've come to know this ensemble in the conservatory.
mm,
We have like we need to do this is jazz actually. It will
mm.
become in the third year jazz, but at the beginning it was this kind of it's
Oh,
new.
yeah,
It's new,
yeah, yeah.
and there is also an orchestra in Austria in Vienna
Mm,
of gamelan, and it's quite interesting how they make music, you know,
Mm,
how they do it.
mm.
Also, Debussy, Ravel, they got inspired from this,
Oh, really?
and it's
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
and yeah, how I said, the way of playing, it's
mm.
interesting. It's, you don't
Mm.
play, you play a part of the melody, and you know, I
Yeah,
mean, it's longer to explain, but
yeah.
it's really interesting. You should listen to it.
Mm.
I will send you a link of it
Yes,
to see.
please send me a link. Yeah.
That's actually, we play traditional
Mm.
Balinese music and so on, but we also, the link I will send you. It's a composition.
Mm.
It's a modern music composed by a member of the
Oh, okay.
Cameroon group.
Mm.
And yeah, so
Mm.
we like to introduce in this kind of, I mean,
Yeah.
not stay in the traditional music
Oh, yeah,
in the
yeah.
old time.
Mm.
We like to introduce it in modern music,
Mm.
and also, like, for example, I think in the future I'm thinking to make a project
Mm.
of a documentary of this kind of cultural music.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
Online.
Oh, that would be
Uh,
very interesting.
yeah, but I would like to
Mm.
make it also in a research way,
Mm.
like to discover,
Mm.
to,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
see how
Mm.
people got inspired from it. How,
Mm.
I think it would be an interesting. I mean, uh, yeah, that's what I would like to do with film.
Mm. Well,
To,
it's always interesting if you know what you are planning to do, or I think this is then you have an idea of what you are studying or what you are going to want to achieve, you know.
yeah,
So that's great that you have already that idea um to to do
yeah,
that.
I think
And
I will. I mean, either way I do it, I wanna tell stories, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and to discover the truth behind some
yeah,
stories.
yeah. Now that's always interesting.
Yeah,
So but and you say tomorrow you hear if you go
yeah.
into the university. So
And I will, you know, my girlfriend lives in. She's a flutist in Austria. In
oh
Austria,
really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
I
in the
was
Haydn Conservatory. She
yeah,
has a collaboration with MDV,
yeah. And she's
with the
studying.
pedagogy.
Yeah.
She
Uh,
studies flute.
yeah.
Yeah.
And have you will you also make a film for her or a video for
Yeah,
her?
maybe that's what I mean. I
Yes.
wanna tell. You know, I wanna tell.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. So you can start
Exactly.
off doing that type of thing for artists because you have
Yeah.
and you
Exactly.
understand, yeah, how to do it. Well, that's
Exactly.
great. So I hope when people see this that they contact you
Maybe.
for videos. Yeah, that would be great. Um, but Leon, I wish you so much success, and I think you are so I just have to say, this is my dog snoring at the background. I don't know if you can hear her snore.
I don't.
Lily,
I don't hear it.
Lily, she's snoring away. um,
I have also a cat. She's not here.
oh,
I
is
didn't
it?
have her.
Oh,
Because
um,
she comes everywhere.
yeah, cats do that. They come
They
on
do
the
that.
place where you least want
They
them.
don't have, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I wish you all the best. And
Thank
as I
you.
say, I think you are very brave to and you have a lot of courage to do that, to
Thank you.
do something else as well and find the thing that you really love most.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you will do well, really.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah, and let me
I'm
know
glad to
when you
hear.
have doing your documentaries, and then we talk about it. It would be lovely to
Yeah.
follow you and see what you are doing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And when you come to Vienna, you have to write to me, and then we can meet in person.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe we can do a project together at some point as
maybe
well.
I will be glad. You
Yeah,
know.
I have many ideas, so I need a filmmaker.
Okay. Actually, when like I'm now new since you've done the
Mm,
photography for my brother,
yeah,
and at that moment
yeah.
I thought, oh look, I could be filming, and
Really?
doing, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
thought about
amazing.
that. Yeah. That
Oh, I'm
came to
so
me today. I
I'm
remember.
really
Yeah,
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, it's interesting. I you never know how things, you never know what you do if people what they see from it. And
yeah,
yeah, it's
exactly.
interesting. It's also interesting for me to hear when people see the pictures what they think, what they
Yeah, that's also
what
like
the message
also,
is, you know. Yeah,
when I post something, it's something that I didn't know would happen, or
yeah, you never know. Yeah,
like you have an idea of could happen, but not something totally different
yeah.
happen.
And your dad is also a photographer, I heard.
No, my dad, like, I like that my dad is a painter.
Oh, he's a painter. Yeah,
Yeah, and now that I'm doing filmmaking,
yeah.
you know, I'm I feel closer to my dad now.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was always like a little bit like none of the sons make
mm,
something uh, like painting or like
yeah.
photography. I mean, my older brother makes photography actually,
Mm,
but yeah, I would like to make it more in an artistical way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, then you might have that from your father, that visual
yeah,
awareness.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I need to apply it,
yeah,
all the things that I've seen in
yeah.
my father.
Definitely.
Like we have this the ground floor,
Yeah,
and all the first floor it's a big studio
yeah.
of paint. I don't
Oh,
know
from
how
his
you.
paintings. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
that's interesting. Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
no, no, no. You can
yeah.
talk.
I would like to say that like if me also my brothers we grew up with paintings, a lot of paintings. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that had an influence of in our
Definitely.
creativity. Right?
Oh, absolutely. I think so too. And I think some people are more aware of sound and some people are more visually aware. I'm also very much visually aware. Um, and I observe very much, even if I go for a
Exactly.
walk, for example, I see things that I think probably other people won't see, but also then on the other hand, I don't hear, a sound for me
Yeah,
is also not that I don't like music. I love music, but I don't think I hear it the way people who are more uh,
yeah,
sensible, sound sensible, or
yeah,
have it. Yeah. So
yeah.
I think it's
Aware, maybe.
awareness,
Aware.
that awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, me too. I'm very like even my memory is very visual.
Mm. Yeah.
Even when I was playing violin,
Mm.
like in my brain when I play violin, it's also yeah the sound,
Mm.
but I would say it's even more the I see the notes,
Mm.
like the
Really?
score thing.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
so it's really like my memory is really visual.
Yeah. Um, but Leon, I wish you so much success, and I think you are so. I just have to say, this is my dog snoring at the background. I don't know if you can hear her snore.
I
Lily,
don't.
Lily, she's snoring away. um,
I have also a cat. She's not here.
oh,
I
is
didn't
it?
let her.
Oh,
because she comes everywhere.
Oh, yeah, cats do that. They come
They
on
do
the
that.
place where you least want
They
them.
don't have, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I wish you all the best. And
Thank
as I
you.
say, I think you are very brave to, and you have a lot of courage to do that, to
Thank you.
do, you know, something else as well, and find the thing that you really love most.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you will do well, really.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah, and let me
I'm
know
glad to
when you
hear.
have your, when you have doing your documentaries, and then we talk about it. It would be lovely to follow
Yeah.
you and see what you are doing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And when you come to Vienna, you have to write to me, and then we can meet in person.
Yeah. It was
But
my pleasure
it
talking to
was
you.
so lovely to talk to you. You are very inspiring, and I think there
Oh,
will
thank
be
you.
great things coming from you. Okay,
Okay. Bye.
Leon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.